Hello, Cancer. This is the mind of Lilith, and thank you for joining me for your May 2025 reading. This reading will be for all Cancerians for the month of May 2025. Cancer sun, moon, and rising signs. Spirit guides, divine messengers, archangels. What's going on for Cancers for the month of May 2025? What's going on with Cancers? What do they need to know? Spill the wine. Dig that girl. Is that the Isley brothers? Some sort of celebration. Spill the wine. Dig that girl. There was tall ones, short ones, big ones, black ones. Big. So I guess this was, okay, that song, I'm replaying the lyrics in my head by the Isley Brothers. Spill the Wine's about this man going to an event with a bunch of beautiful women. Spill that wine. Take that girl. Okay, what's happening, Spirit Guides, for Cancers? Thank you very much. Drinking wine, spilling the wine. The sun is in your 11th house of friendships, groups, and associations. You may be catching the eye of a lover this month, potentially. The side story, we'll see. Spirit Guides, what's happening for Cancers? These cards are getting sticky. These are getting old. The Wheel of Fortune, yes, celebration, something positive. The Wheel of Fortune changing in a positive direction. Spill the wine, take that girl. Something to celebrate. You feel like you're reconnecting with the world. You've gone from like being a hermit. Four of Swords energy, moon energy. Something shifting energetically for you. You may decide to travel, go out more, expand your horizons. Spill the wine. Take that girl. Okay. High Priestess. Yeah. Are you being celebrated, or are you celebrating yourself? Your intuition is telling you that your fortune, your fate is changing, and your energy is elevating. You have two major arcana here, which represents fate. A cycle is ended. There's nothing you can do to go back to that old cycle. If you were in a downswing, you're now moving up. If you were in an upswing, you're now moving down. The height or depth of your ascension or descension depends on how the height or depth was of your ascension or descension. So if you were at rock bottom, more than likely your ascension is going to be the opposite spectrum of that. If you're at the top of the mountain, like Shannon Sharp, the fall was going to be in that space. So it depends on where you've been over the past 7 to 14 years. Your fortune, your fate is changing. There's like this wave, a frequency, and you're sensing that. If you've been on the upswing, there could be, like, for an extended period of time, years, you've plateaued and things can start to precipitate or slow down. If you're on a downswing, you're at the bottom, things are going upward in the opposite direction. positive. So it seems like it's going to be positive for you guys. Page of Swords, communication, learning, research, Knight of Cups. You could be, yeah, somebody could try to ask you out on a date. And you could have been single for a long time, High Priestess. It's almost like you're going to know that your life is going to change. And you're going to be more social, more accessible, more approachable, more whatever. Like the world is opening back up to you. You'll know that if you're receiving more attention from the opposite sex. So for a while you were ignored. For some reason you had no friends, or you had no lovers. You were single for a long time. That is ending. Or you had no friends for a long time. Or if you had lots of girlfriends and lots of friends, it could swing the other way, depending on where you were or what you were doing over the past 7 to 14 years. 9 of Wands. Yeah. You've been through a lot. And the 8 of Swords. The 10s aren't here. And I suspect that the 10s aren't here for 2 reasons. So this is what happened in the past. You were going through it. You were going through it, but you never gave up. You were going through something tumultuous, traumatic, legal battles, divorce, health issues, financial. It's like when it rained, it poured for some of you guys. Or the other end, it's like you couldn't do nothing wrong. You had luck on your side, right? Just to use Shannon Sharp as an example, he's a Gemini. I think he's an early Cancer. I think. Yeah, I think he's an early Cancer. His career was on an upswing for many years, right? He had the Undisputed, First Take, whatever. He had this TV shows. Then he had his podcast. Like he really reached the top. He had the most popular video podcast, with Cat Williams interview. That was like the most popular YouTube video of all time, right? So he reached, and now it's like there's something going down. So either you're fighting because you're fighting on your way up, or you're fighting on your way down. Depending on your perspective. Wendy Williams, her career was on the up and up, and then she would hit rock bottom for at least 4 or 5 years now, 4 or 5, 6 years, maybe. Lost her TV show, her marriage, her mind. She could be on the upswing now. Like things are moving up for her, looking up for her. She can sense that progression. Depends on where you are. These are general readings. So if you have been doing really, really well for the past some 7, 14 years, just be careful not to get arrogant or reckless, because the wheel is turning, okay? If you've been struggling and suffering for many years, for whatever reason, just know that your fortune is going to improve. You're going to receive more support, more finances, more love, more attention. It depends on your perspective, okay? Clarify the Wheel of Fortune and the High Priestess, please. There was tall ones, short ones, big ones, fat ones, like different. It's different. So this message is for different Cancerians. It's not going to be for one archetype or one deacon or one. It's not going to be just for one type of Cancer. There are 3 deacons of Cancer and 5 terms for Cancer. So depends on where you are, honestly, and where you've been. Okay? Clarify the Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess card. These cards are feeling heavy. Heavy, tight, stuck energy. 6 of Wands, right? More attention, victory, success, praise, adulation, worship. After a long period of isolation, walking away from situations, circumstances, people. I'm not taking these. Lovers, more options. Yeah, you're going to be receiving more attention. The World card, right? Right. Yeah, you were single for a long time. If you were single for a long time, like years, 8 years even, 6 years maybe, single for a while, and you didn't, like you were invisible, like you disappeared or something like that, you felt invisible, that's going to change. On the other hand, if you received tons of attention, if you were the most popular podcaster or you had all this fame and fortune, that could be on the decline. Okay? So just prepare for that. We all have to go through those cycles of ascension and descension. It's just cyclical. It's energy. That's all. You're not being punished. Okay? So, right. 6 of Wands, 8 of Cups, Ace of Swords. Emperor, the world, right? So it's more options in love and life in general. This is a shift, an end of an old cycle. The Wheel of Fortune and the World card. You're not going back to this for a while. Clarify the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups, please. I'm seeing a bunch of people in a room just walking around looking good. Just like a garden party or brunch. Just a, you know, there's no care in the world. Just looking good, smelling good, wearing bright colors, dresses, oranges, corals, turquoise, summer clothes, a summer party, garden party. This is a beautiful environment. Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities, 10 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and the Devil. And then we have the Cancer card, which is you. Cancer, Capricorn, these polarities. Right, and I'm seeing the polarity as like extreme in circumstances. A shift in circumstance. We have the 8 of Pentacles and the Ace. So somebody was at the Ace of Pentacles and the other person was at the 8 of Pentacles. So this is like feast to famine or famine to feast, depending on, again, your experience. This is the 7th house and the 1st house. You could receive more attention from the opposite sex. Someone who wants to commit to you, a Capricorn or Cancer. Knight of Cups here, an offer for a date. Let's go out on a date. But you could have some PTSD because you've been through hell. For years, or you're going through a down cycle and you've had some initial experiences that give you an indication that things are going to be challenging for a while, like with Shannon Sharp. 4 of Wands, 9 of Pentacles, that's here, 8 and 9. Yeah, so, right, death, right. It's strange. It depends on who you are, where you are. It depends on who and where you are. If you were doing well, then it's going to shift. If you were not, it's going to shift. Death is transformation and endings. The end of what? The end of 9 of Pentacles or the end of the Ace of Pentacles or the 8? It depends on where you are. So the end of being single, the end of, yeah, somebody could be finding someone this month. They could be meeting a potential lover, going out on the first date for the first time in many years. It could be 8 years even. I'm seeing 8 twice. Single for a long time. Clarify the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. 2 of Wands reverse. Right. I mentioned this earlier. Right. This is a new endeavor, new opportunities. But in this instance here, there's some sort of block. There's like a plateau. There's like a downswing of energy. There's a downswing of energy. Someone, now you may be afraid of accepting this new offer because of what you've been through. You've been through many years, Cancer, some of you guys, of just disappointments, trauma, isolation, and you don't trust anybody. Or again, you could have had great luck, but recently things have looked weird and now you don't trust anybody. And so you're not going to start anything new. So there could be a tendency to be a bit timid, distrustful of people because you were betrayed. Either you were betrayed because you had it all, or you felt betrayed because you had nothing. You were betrayed because you had the money, the house, the status, and that was taken from you, right? Like Wendy Williams. Or you were betrayed because you hit rock bottom and nobody was seeing it for you, like Wendy Williams. It's just like there's an extreme stratification here. This dichotomy, a tale of two cities, a tale of two cancers, depending on and I'm not wishing this on anybody. If you can prepare for it, you'll be okay. Because these cycles, these ebbs and flows are inevitable for everybody. We all are going to go through it at some point, no matter what sign you are. If you can see that there's a wave of restrictions coming, limitations, blocks, missed opportunities. If you see that coming, just prepare for it. Save your money, right? Hold on to your relationships. Don't do too much. Respect the people around you. Just like batten down the hatches. Prepare for a storm, right? Prepare for a storm. If you've already gone through the storm, open yourself up to new experiences and opportunities because the cycle is shifting for you. You're going to be doing better, okay? Life is going to get better for you. Let me get some information for Cancers, please. Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of May 2025. There's a dichotomy. I wonder what that is. I guess it's like a way to balance the energy out. Like recycling energy. Shannon Sharp, for example. It's not about him though, but for example, he was becoming too arrogant, diabolical, reckless, irresponsible, abusive, and there has to be like a correction or recalibration. So the people who have been on a downswing, they've learned what they need to learn to move back up, right? It's like being free from prison in some sense, literally and figuratively. The ones who had all the freedom, they were kind of doing too much. They were being irresponsible with their money and their power. And now they got to be humbled a little bit. Divine Feminine Yin energy. The moon. What sign is exalted in Cancer? Jupiter. Jupiter's entering. Oh, I forgot. Jupiter's entering Cancer in June. I forgot all about that. Yeah, for some of y'all, it's going to be up. For others of you guys, it's going to be the opposite direction. Jupiter is the planet of excess, of opportunities, but it's a magnetizing energy. So if your frequency is negative, it's going to magnetize negative experiences for you. But the objective is for you to learn and grow and be a wiser, more mature, responsible person. If you have been putting in the work and you've been humble and diligent and patient and practical and responsible, you're going to magnetize opportunities for you to grow and to expand in more abundant ways. So it depends. So this is Jupiter in Cancer. That's what's up. Wow. I forgot all about that. I forgot all about Jupiter entering Cancer for 12 months. We have rejection. Then we have broken. Then we have influences. This is what you went through. Abandoned, dismissed, irrational fear, 9 of Wands. And now you have this extreme. Broken, shattered, heartbroken, destroyed, right? 9 of Wands. You've been through hell, some of you guys. Influences, attachment, third parties, and peers. I mentioned a bunch of people in a room wearing beautiful clothing. Garden party. Specifically, a garden party, like a brunch. pastels, bright colors. Good food is healthy. Beautiful people just gathering around to just hang out. There's no reason for it. Just having a good time. That's with the sun in your 11th house of friends, groups, associations, and things of that nature. So, yeah. On the other hand, you could have been rejected by other people, right? Like you were isolated from the world, potentially. And you felt isolated, and so you kind of turned in on yourself. You became more insular. And now you're paranoid or fearful or like just on the lookout. You know, you don't trust anybody because you've lost everything. And you could also not trust anybody because you have everything. Depends on which side of the coin you're on. But this is what you're working through. This broken, rejected energy. And it's being repaired. Being brought back together. What is this? Is this a building? Screws, a window. I don't know what this is. A container, a vault. I don't know what that is. Abandoned, dismissed, and irrational fear. Yeah, depends on what side of the coin you're on. So, one more, well, two more. Spirit guides, what's happening for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for the month of May 2025. Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. With Jupiter in your 12th house, and it's been there for about a year now. With Jupiter in the 12th, a lot of you have become wiser, more resilient, more optimistic, more religious, spiritual, hopeful. You've been through a lot as well. You had to face your demons with Jupiter in the 12th house. And you realize that your demons were not stronger than you. You were making your demons, whatever that could be. So you went through some sort of process of healing your mind, healing your emotions. Gemini is your 12th house. Changing your perspective about yourself too. It's like you were walking through a dark forest for the past 12 months and basically facing all the shadows in that forest and slaying those dragons or shining a light on those shadows. Putting a mirror up to those shadows. Walking through the forest, facing those shadows with a mirror in your hand. To repel them, to shed light on them, something like that. This is like the subconscious mind. This is in the back of her head, the brain. Her eyes are closed, like she's sleeping. So you guys were walking through your own mind. You were exploring your own mind, your own understanding, your own perspectives, your own perceptions, your own knowledge. You were unpacking your subconscious ideas, your conditioning over the past 12 months. And because you've done that, you're now prepared for the abundance that's coming your way. Spirit guys, what's happening for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs for the month of May 2025? Advice for Cancer, please. Advice for Cancer, please. Celebrate, yes. You're being asked to celebrate a recent accomplishment, no matter how big or small. Do something special to commemorate the moment. You deserve that and so much more, and you do, Cancer. You've lost everything from what I'm seeing, or a whole lot. You went to the Ace of Pentacles. No matter how hard you worked, you just stayed at the Ace of Pentacles. Reassess, Jupiter in the 12th house. You're being asked to take stock of your life and let go of anything or anyone that no longer makes you happy. Notice who and what bring you joy and who and what don't. It's time for some life cleanup. Jupiter in the 12th, getting ready for Jupiter in the 1st. I'm going to even say that this past year may have been the most difficult, not because of circumstances, but because of like emotions and thoughts and fears and the shadow side of yourself that was blown up. That could have been an issue for you this year. And you've gone through that. You've healed through it, I guess. You've worked through that insecurity. You've worked through your you know, all your challenges, or most of them. And now you're ready for the celebration. Spill the wine. I mean, that's like libations. Pouring libations to honor the ancestors. You're going to feel so grateful, I guess. 1011. Take action. Hope. New beginning. Fresh start. The World card is here. The end of whatever this was. Lifestyle. Purpose. Spiritual awakening. There's a call to action to move forward. The World card. The Ace of Swords. The sooner you get going, the sooner you will accomplish what you set out to do. Those with patience will eventually reap the rewards of their perseverance. And that's what you have been demonstrating for the past, I don't know how many years, many years. So you're waiting for your right partner. You're waiting for the right opportunity. You held on to your beliefs or your faith. No matter what the external circumstances look like. It's like, I'm going to say this. It's going to sound strange. So if you have been suffering and people were witnessing your suffering, and you were not suffering because you were doing the wrong thing, it was just a phase, right? The people who were doing well, they're now going to have to ask you for guidance and support. You're now going to be able to give your testimony to help those who are going into this downward cycle. You are now going to be a teacher for them. You were strong enough to go through this, and God kind of put you through this experience to be a leader or a teacher or a healer for those who need that support. Because if anybody else had gone through this, not anybody else, a lot of people would not have survived what you went through, whatever this is. And you did. And now you can give your testimony to others who are going to enter this cycle to help them out. That's the blessing in this. And you were strong enough to do it because you've done your own work. One more. 2424. Good times. Leisure. Rest. Holiday. Pleasure. Love. Affection. Kindness and happiness. You are worthy of affection, leisure, and pleasure. If you tell your family and friends how you feel, you'll find that you're all on the same page and can work together effectively. Many people are rooting for you, right? I keep seeing this garden party or some sort of brunch in my mind's eye. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. I'm smelling fabric, like new clothes. Brightly colored, starched, tailored. This is not a Temu clothes. These are finely tailored clothes that fit people's bodies, like linens and cotton and wool and silks. I'm not seeing polyester. It's like some sort of banquet, a celebration, a birthday. You could be celebrating in a couple months. Many people are rooting for you. If you spread love, it will find its way back to you multiplied. And that is what you've been doing, or that's what's going to happen as you ascend into a higher social status, financial status. You'll be able to help the people around you who are going through what you've been through years ago. So you went through a divorce 10 years ago while your friends stayed married. Now you have 10 years as a divorced person. Your friends are getting married. You can help them get through that process. Something like that. You're going to be a teacher, a guide for people. But you'll be a guide or a teacher from a position of abundance, not a position of low status, if that makes sense. Because I guess you'll be more convincing if you show evidence of your testimony. Like, as long as you keep the faith, you can be where I am, right? Just to keep it 100, if you are on the street homeless with no money, people are less inclined to listen to your advice. So the universe is going to give you what you need as far as resources and status to put you on a pedestal, I guess, not to look down on people, but for people to see the value in what you're saying, in your testimony. You've been humbled, so you don't look down on people anyway. You've been through hell, I guess, and you've been stripped of your ego completely. So if you're put back on a pedestal, it's not from a position of ego and arrogance. It's not that. That's why you're being chosen for that spot. Because you've learned your lesson. You didn't blame God. You didn't try to hurt people because you were hurt. You really became a divine feminine, empress, a healer, a nurturer. You became what you wanted to be before you were that. You were embodying the qualities and characteristics of a person who's a healer, even from a position of poverty or lack or distress. So you are putting out good energy and you're getting it back now. Not just by just mouth, people talking and give you compliments, but you'll get resources. This is the Empress. You'll get resources. 8, 9 of Pentacles, twice. Okay? All right, Cancers. Good luck with that. Thank you for listening. I look forward to hearing your feedback. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll speak to you soon.